Um, it's just time for another one of Lacey's bullshit videos where I'm just going to imagine flirting with you via a screen. And I'm probably going to do tarot, and I'm definitely going to talk about astrology. Now, the astrology for the moment is shifting. It's changing. Things, the outer planets are in retrograde, so we're re-going back over things, right? Outer planets last a long time, they're generational, so they define a whole swath, a whole group of us, right? You still have diversity though, because personal choice still matters. You still have personal choice. Aren't you excited about that? Don't you just love having personal choice, right? But something that is definitely real is in a circle, like the chart is, like the sky is as it goes around us. The point of everything being in a circle is that it all faces each other and therefore it all mirrors each other. So if you don't like something about someone, chances are you do that thing to some degree or another. Was that hard to hear? That everything you don't like about someone else is something that you do to one degree or another. Oh, bottom of the deck here. This is the three of swords. See, she's cutting off her wings. See? So in this image here, we have this woman, a very devout woman, right? As Japanese women, especially in history, are definitely portrayed as, because definitely that was a big thing, right? Loyalty. And her husband's on the inside, and basically he doesn't know that she's a swan, or he doesn't know that she has wings. He doesn't know her for who she really is. And so, because his pillow, he does in this story specifically, he's a pillow maker, her husband, and he runs out of feathers. And so she, in secret, starts cutting off her own feathers to help his business grow. So, sorrow, cutting off your own wings, right, in order to serve someone else, which isn't bad, but is bad because she's bleeding. That can't feel good. That must suck. And she's got swords in her friggin' heart, right? And lightning, right? Tumultuous. So you're a mirror to everyone, right? Everyone has sorrow. Three of Swords, the traditional image is a heart stabbed by three different swords. I'm thinking about things. Swords represent thinking. So we're thinking about things and stabbing ourselves in the own heart, in the own heart, in our own hearts. So, how does one then ensure that you like what you see in this mirror? Do you like what you see when you look in your mirror? My overall hope is yes, you do, right? Because if you do, then chances are you're going to like what you see in other people's faces, right? When you look at them as your mirror. Are you looking for what's in common, right? Are you looking for the beauty? Because you'll find the dirt, you'll find the flaws. How many of us can attest to finding your own flaws in your own friggin' face, right? Yeah, you'll find those flaws, but you'll also find good things. We need to like we need to. I'm the first person that when I hear those words, you need to, I'll be like, oh, you can go F yourself. Like, I hate it when I hear that, because for me, it feels like, are you saying I haven't thought about that? Because I've totally thought about it. Because probably I have. I'm an Aquarius sun, 11th house. I probably thought about it. But mirror, do you like what you see? If you want to see a smile, do you smile at yourself in the mirror? Do you smile at the other faces that you see walking around? What's the energy you're putting out? Okay, so the cards that kind of flopped over was the death card, lost, looking behind the curtain, right? In this story, this woman is, I think it's Psyche and Eros actually, where I think this is Psyche here in this story, and she's looking behind a curtain, but she's not supposed to, or else her love, Eros, has to like leave, can't be in her presence anymore. I don't remember the entire story, but she's looking behind the curtain. It's like, no, no, don't look behind the curtain. And she's like, well, if I look behind the curtain, that's definitely not a skeleton arm there. There's something else, but then you lose the mirage you had, you lose the illusion, the veil that was over it, right? And now you have to be something different. Now you have to think differently, right? That's death. Death is, oh, it's not what I thought it was. Death is Scorpio. Death, I have to change my mind about something or I won't be able to embrace oneness. So, eighth house and Scorpio is oneness, right? I cringe if you think of me as not being one with you, right? It's the sign and the house of the dissolving of boundaries to change to become a new person. When you let different people into your life or different people come into your life and you care about what they think, especially so a marriage partner or a committed partner, right? Seventh house, Libra, then you start weighing things. Oh, what's fair? What's balanced, right? Libra, relationships, I'm committed. And then you go into the eighth house, Scorpio, next sign up. And Scorpio is, I can't maintain my independence. Aries, first house, personhood, right? I must now meld with this other energy, this other committed person that I'm with. And now I must change. If I stay the same, this marriage, this togetherness won't work. So you must change. You have to change from a caterpillar to a butterfly, essentially, is what it is. And then on the underside of it was the sun card. So you must change your identity, the sun, right? We must look behind the veil to see what we have in common in the light of day, right? In the broad light of day, when everyone is deity, everyone's raw, right? Everyone's their own God, everyone's their own consciousness, if you will, right? We all have to know that we are connected, right? We are connected to each other. People come together over a common villain, right? Oh my God, we all hate this person, right? Political parties, right? Everybody. We all come together around we hate this person, right? And yes, it feels good to be like, oh my God, you guys all see it, right? He's the worst. Whatever. You can tell where I'm at. But if I don't give people I love in my life, my family members who view things differently, what seemingly the opposite, but mirrored of me, right? Flipped of me. If I don't give them a way to self select in, if I'm like, everyone who's the opposite of me is a villain, then they can't self select in. They can't see themselves in your life as anything other than a fucking villain, right? Can you make it possible to not see yourself as a villain? Maybe if you don't see yourself as a villain or you don't judge yourself, then maybe it'll be easier to not judge others. Maybe you'll have a bigger measuring stick, so to speak, right? Lacey's bullshit, right? I'm just shuffling cards and talking bullshit. What I really wanted to talk about, other than this whole rant, this whole thought is one, yes, this mirroring aspect. Can you say words in a way where people can see themselves in it and they don't look like a villain? If they look like a villain in your story, they don't want to be that villain, right? Nobody wants to be the villain of a story like you do, but you're sadistic. And we'll spin it to like, Disney villains, right? There is something intriguing about villains if you're a sadist like myself. But what I really wanted to talk about ultimately is I wanted to talk about Portland and I want to talk about Portland's Saturn return, whatever. So, since this is me and you're here for me because you think I'm totally freaking great, and that's why you're watching my shit right now, right? That's why you're watching it. This is me. All right, this isn't me. So, I want to show you Portland's natal chart. This is Portland's natal chart. Okay. Um, there is discrepancy. Some people think we have there's like two charts. It's either this chart here or it's where the moon is in Libra, but I think it's moon in Taurus because Taurus is the farmer, Taurus is the foodie, right? Taurus is the love of pleasures. And hello, Portland, you are a lover of pleasure for for sure. You're a lover of pleasure. You're a lover of food. Hello, food trucks, food restaurants, foodie places. Yes. And everyone's front yard has a friggin' garden in it. Everyone. You walk around, there's raised flower beds. There's signs that say, kill your lawn, grow a garden, right? That is so Taurus. Things growing up from the earth, things taking a while. Also, Taurus, I don't want to change it if I don't have to, right? Just leave me alone. Let me just find joy where I can, right? Taurus. I think we have a moon in Taurus as a city. We definitely, you all know, we have a sun in Aquarius. Hello. What? Yes, we are weird. Keep Portland weird. Hello. I don't even think I need to say any more. How we fight is in costumes. I have an Aquarius sun. This is why I shine here. We have the same sun. I'm weird. It's weird. Mars, we're motivated by weird. We fight in community and we fight with community because Aquarius is a sign of community. We fight with friends, we fight against friends, right? Mars, there's going to be beef with friends, right? But we're all going to be motivated by perspective, right? Aquarius is the sign of perspective. We can't not see it. Also, Aquarius is a fixed sign. Change my mind about it. Good luck. So these are my thoughts. But the thing that I really want to draw your attention to is this Saturn right here. So if you know anything about mundane astrology, meaning the astrology of what's in the transits right now, you know that Saturn has just gone into Pisces, right? It's in this next sign up here, the one right before Aries. So Saturn's there. In these coming years, we're going to be having a Saturn return, and this Saturn is going to come into play in this next year. Let's see. So let's put the transit by wheel up. So you all know, Google right now, fucking Google, sorry, Saturn return. When Saturn returns to where it was when you were born, right? You usually have something big that happens. It usually happens the first time at age 28, 29, 30, 31. Depending if you have an earlier Saturn, like a 0-degree Saturn, it's going to happen closer to 28. If you have a later degree Saturn, let's say it's closer to 29, then you're going to have one more like at 30, 31. That's why it has that broad span in those years because Saturn takes a while, right? When I had my Saturn return, that was in 2010. And that would be right when that's when my husband and I are leaving the church, right? Some people get married during their Saturn return. Some people will oftentimes will get a divorce, right? Saturn is asking, is this buildable? Is this futurable? Is this good for you long term? That's what Saturn wants to know. And if you're doing things that are not great long term, who have not the way that Saturn's life purpose is for you, right? Wherever it is in your chart, then Saturn breaks those things down, right? That's what Saturn's job is. Father time. Is this foreverable? If it's not, then I'm going to make it more foreverable for you by removing the thing that you're investing time in that's not going to work for you long term. So instead of divorcing my husband, I'm going to divorce my religion, right? I'm going to divorce Christianity, not Jesus. Definitely Christianity, though, as a whole. I'm going to see that the things that in my life, anyway, I will see that the things that I believe Jesus meant, right? Feeding the poor, overturning tables in when people are saying they're worshiping the Lord, but then they don't give to the poor, they don't do things, they're not Aquarius, if you will, perspective on humanity, then I'm going to feel frustrated. Do you ever feel frustrated? I just realized I should probably bring more flirting in if I'm going to keep your eyes on me, right? Community. I'm going to see that what I think Jesus means and what I see the church doing are different things. And I'm going to have to leave it so that I can see it better later with better perspective. So that's what I'm going to do. Also, I'm going to leave the idea of marriage as I even see it. Right? My husband and I are going to start getting into non-monogamy, right? The year right after that is when that really starts to come to fruition. Saturn will be in Libra right after my late degree set. Anyway, so Saturn returns are meaningful. Saturn returns are impactful. Think of when you were that age and what was going on in your life, right? Something big was probably happening at that time. So, Portland, as a city, we're going to be having this, right? We're going to be having this Saturn return. So, transiting bio here, it's the transits up. Saturn right now is here retrograding back into Pisces, right? So, by next year, go year from now, next year, Saturn is going to be at 9 degrees, retrograding again, right? Saturn's at 9 degrees here, getting close, right? We're going to be seeing more things. Let's go the year after that, 2027. Where are you, Saturn? Okay, and Saturn's in retrograde again. Why? Because it always does it at the same time. So in this year, 2026, then let's go some months here. Let's go 5 months in advance because I want to get that Saturn. I'm trying to get that Saturn to this 16. Okay. So March 2021, 2027. Here we have Saturn applying to that Saturn return. So in this time right here, we're going to be seeing Portland going through some sort of dramatic life purpose change, shift. We're going to be seeing it happen in Aries vibes, impulsive, in reaction, right? As a reaction to something, right? As a reaction to probably our government. Saturn can represent government, right? So things that have authority, things that govern us, Saturn. Things that have authority, right, is military. Things that have authority is definitely like police, right? Things that have authority, politicians, things that people that have authority, court systems, right? All these ninth house vibes, if you will, teachers. But in the sign of Aries, Saturn wants to build slow. Saturn is in his fall, in his detriment in the sign of Aries. He has a really hard time being Aries because you're being asked to build something permanently right now. Make something completely well thought out right now. Make a government that's completely well thought out right now, right? You can't make now decisions. I know as a double Aries, right? Like you're good in war, right? You're good in reaction, right? You're good when somebody's coming at you and you can blah, 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 right? React. But as far as slow build, so Portland, we could be having also when during Portland, specifically Saturn returns, we tend to have earthquakes. We tend to have undersea volcanoes. There was a volcano that erupted the last time Saturn was conjunct, last time we had a Saturn return. I can't remember the name of it now. But, right, so that's a disruption. That's what it's bringing. It's bringing disruption. So if you live in Portland, you can expect some sort of massive disruption over the next 2 years and definitely here, March 2027, right? We're gonna be seeing this, especially here in April. Or no, between March and April, something crazy, right? And then it's gonna return, right? Then we go in the future again. Let's see if we go a year in the future, then Saturn will be there and having passed through again. So 2027 is going to be a really big shifty year for us. Like really big. That's just what's going to happen. Do not feel afraid. Okay. That is the response that you don't want to have. Is uncertainty problem? Yes. Right. Uncertainty is a challenge. That's why you need to be anchored in something that is greater than your now, right? Anchored in something or present. If you remain present in each moment, then the future isn't so scary because you're not living there, you're living in the present. You haven't gotten to the future yet, right? Things that help you stay in the present, breathing, right? Deep breathing, meditation, those things can help you stay in the present. Prayer, casting spells, praying to an entity, right? Prayer can be very, very beneficial when you feel uncertain, right? When dealing with your moon, right? The moon in tarot is looking at your deep, deep shadow side, looking at illusions, looking at what's underneath the dark water, right? Looking at your feelings around things, right? That moon. Anyway, so we know then that uncertainty and things are going to be popping up for us. We've also got Pluto here going over our Mars. Are we having a power struggle right now? Yes, we are, obviously. Um, yeah. So Pluto is going to be so not only are we having a Saturn return, we're also having Pluto go through our ninth house of governance. We're going to be different, a different government system, possibly a huge transformation in our government system, which I'm down for, please. All right. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about, because this is significant as well, is this is the US Sibley chart. We, Portland, are a part of Oregon. Oregon is a part of the United States. The United States is the United States of America currently. Look at this, Saturn here, right? Saturn's exalted in the sign of Libra. We have an excellent Saturn as a nation. We have a Saturn who wants to put everyone in a place where they feel like they're doing good, right? Everyone in relationships where they feel like their relationships are meaningful, right? Saturn, meaningful, Libra relationships, right? So we want to do that. We have an exalted Jupiter here. That is awesome. As a nation with Venus there, hell yeah, right? This is really good for us. We have a moon. So Portland has a Aquarius sun. United States has an Aquarius moon. You know what that means? It means our body values detachment, our body values science, our body values, we are at home with those things. We are at home with that kind of progress. And we're at home with being eccentric. We're at home with being diverse. We are also at home with having a fixed mind. Yes, we have a fixed mind, whatever. So we're going to have a Saturn opposite Saturn here with the transiting bi-wheel. So Saturn is here in Libra, 14 degrees. Say it with me. We have a Saturn in Libra at 14 degrees. Remember that, you. Remember that. What? Saturn at 14 degrees of Libra. Exalted Saturn. Remember that. And now I'm going to switch over to the other screen while you're still remembering that the United States has. Okay, you get it, right? You get it? Now I want to draw your attention to this Saturn 16 degrees of Aries. Aries is the opposite of Libra. We have a Saturn opposite Saturn. The way that Portland wants to govern is kind of the opposite of how the United States wants to govern. The nice thing here is that the way a Libra and Aries flirt is Aries rises to the occasion and wants to fight. Libra is trying to balance things out. So it's going to bring up and play devil's advocate, which an Aries kind of loves because they love to be quizzed and we love to have the quick reaction, right? Like, oh hell yeah. Right. Good news, we have a Jupiter in Libra, which is good for Saturn. They're play buddies, so it's never as bad as we think it is. Jupiter kind of ends up being the benefic that helps us. But there is that opposition, you see? That's why we have to fight. But can we fight and make it sexy? Is that possible? It's fucking or fighting. I'm telling you, let's fuck about it. Whatever. All right. So really, maybe that's just where my bullshit is. Here's the other thing I wanted to show you. So you have a what's called a solar return. So on birthday, on America's birthday, July 4th, every year, the chart grows, the chart shifts, right? So next year, or no, this year, we have a Saturn at 1 degree, right? Look at this. Next year on the birthday, July 4th, next year on the United States birthday, oh shit, we have a Saturn, United States solar return. There's two things I see at this chart. So this tells you what the native can expect in the upcoming year, right? So the United States can expect in the year 2026, we have a Gemini rising and we have Mars here. Mars and Uranus conjunct in this ascendant. This is fighting with online. This is fighting with AI. This is fighting with ourselves. That rise, the first house represents the self, the ego, who you are. We, as American citizens, are fighting with technology, are fighting in unexpected ways, right? We're fighting with ourselves. That's what we're doing. And we're also caring about it, though. We're also trying to care. Kind of glad this is Circe, she's here. I kind of love that. Um, but that's part of what we're doing. And then we have this Saturn here, right? Saturn at 14 degrees. Oh, thank you for honing that in. And then what do we have as a city? We have 16 degrees. Saturn at 16 degrees. You see this? When when Saturn is conjunct Saturn, right? Somebody else's Saturn conjunct your Saturn. If you haven't found a way to love yourself yet, if you haven't found a way to look in the mirror and see beautiful, then when you look in the mirror, you're not going to see beautiful. I'm hoping that by, you know, 2027, 2028, I hope that we see ourselves as beautiful. I think we're on a good pathway there. But yeah, Saturn at 14 degrees and then Saturn at 16 degrees, right? Like that's really close. That's Saturn on Saturn on Saturn. That is fighting about, wrestling with government. I don't say this to scare anyone. That's actually my least favorite. Let's draw cards around it. You guys want to draw some? What can we expect? Fears on the bottom of the deck. What can we expect for Portland and the US in 2027? Okay, when we're having our Saturn return. What is Portland going to be going through? We have this here, Queen of Wands. Okay, Queen of Wands. Next card is, oh, Knight of Coins. Slow moving, slow moving. And then this one has, oh, the Empress. These are amazing cards. So what's going on for Portland? And then a new beginning is on the bottom of the deck. A new, slow, steady beginning. I love this for Portland. In fact, then Queen of Wands is, well, Hele Pele. She's the goddess of making volcanoes erupt. So you expect passion, you expect a volcano erupting, but you feel in control about it. You're bringing your passion forward. You're paving the way forward for other people. And we have the Knight of Coins. This guy right here is totally stubborn and he's going out and he's left his tribe and he's seeking stable income for it, right? So Knight of Coins is the slowest moving knight. It is bringing news. It is bringing change. It's bringing it about slow and steady, which I love. And then the Empress, oh my God, could you define me more? Sexy, hot Queen of Wands and Empress, nurturing, loving, somebody who tries to see the bigger picture, right? Somebody who can love two diverse thinking people, whatever. So when I look in the mirror, I think of myself as these two people. Whatever. I have a high opinion of myself, and I think that I should because Thank you. So that's not so bad, right? So that's really kind of great. Yes, things are going to erupt, but flowers are going to bloom everywhere. I mean, I'm in love with that. What about the United States? What is happening with the United States on that birthday, right? What was that birthday? It was the birthday of 2026. Okay, 2026. What is that Mars? What is that? Let me share with you my screen again because I want to know what it is. What is that Mars about here? See what I'm talking about here? This part here on the ascendant, this Uranus Mars. What is that about? How are we at war with ourselves, right? Or what is that Mars? What is our body about? That's kind of what I want to know. That's what I want to know. So we have bottom of the deck is bitterness. Top is Emperor. Oh my God, that's the counterpart to the Empress who we just saw for Portland. So there is an answer, you guys. Something happens. Emperor is also kind of controlling its Aries energy, right? Aries, Saturn, and Aries. So that's interesting. What else? We have confusion, Seven of Cups. What's the right choice? So many choices. Aladdin's got to choose which lamp's the right lamp for him. And the other card at the bottom is, oh, Page of Wands. We just saw the Queen of Wands. So we're confused about what we're fighting, but we're trying to rule well that emperor energy, right? We're trying to control well that emperor energy. Bottom of the deck is Eight of Coins. We're persevering. It's uncomfortable, right? This girl has a purpose in her mind. She's trying to set her brothers free. She's got to she has to like make these nettles, these prickly nettles. That's why she's like getting pricked. She's got to make them into these pentacles in order to set her brothers free because they're under like a curse. And so she's like bitter and she's crying, but she's persevering because there's a goal in sight. There's an end in sight, right? Emperor is the counterpart to the Empress, right? She's totally loving and nurturing, popping out babies. He's one to give babies and rule well, right? As said, he's the king of kings here, this one, the emperor. And then we have Aladdin, confusion. I'm not sure what pathway to go, but right, I want to choose the golden lamp. There's potential for a golden lamp, but I don't know. And then the page of wands here. And the page of wands is he is happy. He's just blazing forward, making mistakes left and right. He's new to this passion. The queen of passion is who we are, Portland. So the queen of wands. So we're kind of being good influences on each other ultimately. That's what I'm wanting. And then the Eight of Pentacles to the Knight of Pentacles. I like that energy together, but also I am not adverse to fighting. As a double Aries, I've learned the benefits of fighting, the benefits of testing, the benefits of hashing things out, right? When you're hashing things out, you're like, this is my best guess, my best thought. I'm willing to change my stance, my mind, my everything, as long as you present a good case, as long as you show me that your fighting is superior to mine, better than mine. You win more than me. And so I know that there's like a thing with winning and losing, but I'm just saying losing isn't bad. It teaches, right? Winning isn't bad. It teaches, right? We just need to flirt while we fight. We just need to troll each other in a way, I guess. Um, the next person who makes you want to fight, how can you F with them? How can you flirt with them? And I know flirting's weird, like when it comes to the context of family, but maybe in that way, like Leoing, how can you give them the stage so that you can ask them questions while they perform, right? They need to be seen. Leo needs to be seen. Leo is the seed of romance. Leo is the seed of flirting. So, how can you bring out the best side in someone's fight or flight, right? Am I the only one? God, whatever. All right. That's it. That's all I want to talk about. I will see you all later. Okay. And now I've got to figure out how to okay, stop recording. Go forth and please fuck over fighting.